As I speak, there is a rental inspection going on over at my place, so I was up all last night dusting light globes and polishing mirrors and putting away washing, and, you know, heaven forbid the home actually looks like it's lived in. But anyway, this bill will see a range of new reforms that will give renters new rights. Thanks to massive pressure from renters themselves out there in the community and a huge push from the Greens, we have finally managed to drag this government to the table on things like ending rental bidding and no grounds evictions. And to be honest, it's about time. Like, we've been campaigning for expanded renters' rights for years now. Landlords and estate agents have had all the power for far too long, tacking on hidden fees to already skyrocketing rental fees, and renters have felt trapped in substandard homes out there in the community, paying unreasonable rates of rent, ever increasing, fearful of being kicked out on the street at any moment without cause. Now, there's still a lot more to do to even up the scales, like actually capping those rent increases that we're seeing out there in the community, but this bill is a step in the right direction. This bill will see a ban on all types of rent bidding. No longer will there be secret auctions at open houses, been there, done that, to see who will pay the most just to put a roof over their heads. Housing is a human right, not a game of the price is right. Real estate agents also, under this bill, won't be able to sneak in hidden fees for background checks, transaction fees for paying your rent, again, been there, done that, or extending your lease. Within the passing of these reforms, what you see on the listing online is what you'll actually pay to live in the house. That's the intention. Landlords and agents cannot ask for or accept for more than what is advertised or hide any of those extra fees. This bill will also mean an end to no grounds evictions. Currently, we see renters afraid to ask for repairs that would bring their homes up to basic living standards because you could be kicked out without reason at any time. Now, with these reforms, whether you're on a fixed term or month to month, your landlord will need to have an actual reason to ask you to leave rather than just shrugging and saying the vibes were off. Now, if this bill works as intended, rental properties will need to meet minimum standards before they can be advertised. So you won't be moving into a rental property with faulty electrics, no hot water, mould, or locks that won't lock. So here's hoping with this bill that's actually what happens. This is another good step that should have been implemented years ago, but we still need to go further and legislate those promised heating and cooling standards in rental properties out there in the community. The notice period for rent hikes and evictions is being extended from 60 days to 90 days under this bill, giving you 3 months to plan ahead and find a new place to live in that scenario. And, you know, that's still a cooked, absolutely, situation to be in, but that is an improvement. And to make things a bit easier, looking for a new place to rent, rental application forms will be standardised. Real estate agents and landlords will only be able to get the information about you that they actually need, meaning they won't be there asking for full passport details about your personal life, about your health record anymore. And there will be strict limits on how long they can keep your information on their records. You know, here ready for that purge, I tell you. These are all positive and much needed reforms, and we've been calling for them for years. The glaring omission, I will say though, in this bill is that there is still no limit on the amount that rent can be increased. Every 12 months, rents can be increased by any amount, leaving families in the lurch, stressed about if and when the cost of their home will simply become too much for them. Now, we're in a cost of living crisis and a housing crisis. We cannot allow rents to increase year on year without that kind of regulation or caps. So this is not only incredibly anxiety-inducing for renters, but it's also a way that we do see landlords and estate agents seeking to control or evict tenants in these properties. Leaving rental hikes unchecked will kick people out of their homes. It will stop them from asking for repairs and exercising the very rights we're here legislating in this bill. We need to control rent increases in that way to set fair and affordable rates so that everyone can afford a roof over their head. So as I've said, this bill is a step forward. He's hoping it operates as intended. Ready for those next steps. My door is open, government, and with that I commend this bill to the House.